Hey guys, it's Richard, and I was really excited to jump on a video real quick today and talk to you guys about some stuff that was coming up. In particular, just so you guys know, I'm going to be kind of doing like a product overview training series for the entire ad sales staff team. That kind of, like I said, it kind of goes over our products and then also goes over some strategy, tactics, and I'll do a bit of a series for that so that everybody just kind of like has that at their disposal, and obviously we can talk through it together and we can have some fun. But before that, I wanted to kind of do a bit of a product overview with you guys, and I was going to do a little bit different because there was something that I was really kind of intrigued by and was thinking through and wanted to make sure that you guys all had just in your repertoire as far as when you're out talking with your clients and having conversations. And I'll do it a little bit different, but you know, you guys know that I have a tendency to have some concepts that are obviously rooted within, you know, a little bit of traditionalism, but also too that kind of go into the core of it, like laws of advertising, kind of like just understanding the consumer psyche a lot. So I wanted to kind of get this down, and just so that I can kind of get it out to you guys, so that you had this information, that you can have these kind of conversations with your client that are really just kind of at the core how we as consumers make decisions. And it was kind of a holy trinity moment for me when I kind of started to recognize exactly how consumers and how we as consumers go about making decisions. And it kind of came to me when I was watching, I've been watching a lot of Beat Bobby Flay, and I kind of wanted to, you know, like show you guys something. If you really think about our data points, how we receive information, right? How we interpret information, and all kind of gets up here to our brain, right? To that big data center up top that's sitting on our shoulders. You know, the points of entry, what we can see, what we can smell, taste, hear. They're really kind of the ways that kind of entice or provoke an emotion or a feeling that kind of at the top of our data center kind of helps us make decisions. So think about it like this, and this is where Bobby Flay comes in, because this is the example. Let's kind of assume for a second that I was able to see a meal that Bobby Flay made, and I was able to smell it, and then I was able to taste it, and at the same time, he was like in my ear, in front of me, kind of talking to me about how he made this meal, what went into making this meal, the recipe, maybe, you know, certain kind of like ingredients within that meal are very healthy for me or something like that. And it's all kind of going into this data center, right? And in that data center, I'm going to make a decision on, am I going to become a brand ambassador for Bobby Flay? I taste it, it's really good. I believe what he's saying. I think this is educational, this is good information. I can see that he's, obviously really excited about what he's doing. And just kind of based on that, I started to think this is kind of how we as consumers in everyday lives interpret that data and then make those decisions to become brand ambassadors. And then I was thinking, okay, well, let's kind of take for a minute, and this is kind of a scenic route, the very traditional mediums of advertising, right? Just take the top three. Let's take TV, newspaper, and let's take radio, right? And I always kind of had this concept, right? And I'll get into it in a second. But if you really think about it for a minute, they all kind of appeal to those senses. And then obviously you're hearing radio, you're reading, you're seeing news, and you're interpreting that data. With TV, kind of accomplishes a little bit of both, right? You can not only see something, but you can also interpret and hear the information that's being told to you, right? Now, I always had this philosophy that radio people were really great at selling frequency. News people were really great at selling the moment, the season. Oh man, get your print ad in because it's Black Friday time. TV people are always really great at selling value, I noticed. Usually because it was expensive, and not to mention that these can be too, but they're really great at selling value, the value of being seen and heard and your information being put out there. Now, to take that all back, I kind of started to look at online, you know, advertising, marketing, vision, all that stuff, and I was like, well, you kind of can accomplish all of this with online marketing, and it's trackable, it's tangible, right? These are all things that, you know, I can accomplish kind of like playing to each one of those senses that help me kind of, you know, interpret data, and then I can make a decision as far as, you know, becoming a brand ambassador for that company. And then from there, you know, I started to kind of like put these pieces of the puzzle together, and I said, well, if this is what we do, is this the, you know, kind of conversation that we're having with our clients? Now, the second half of this is if all of this is true, then what we're really trying to accomplish is if they're trying to be a brand ambassador, then it really means that we need to kind of give them even more information beyond that. So really what we're trying to accomplish is, can we get your email or your contact info in some capacity, phone number, or whatever the case might be, right? Now, let's talk about us for a minute, okay? Let's say that this did not exist. Let's say we talk about our 4 products, right? Just targeted display, obviously they exist. Social, email, and pay-per-click, okay? If we know that we can accomplish kind of like, triggering those senses that trigger those kind of like decision-making points of our brain to become brand ambassadors, and we know that online advertising allows us to do this, but also too that it's trackable, it's tangible in a way we can kind of see it, we can kind of like know, we can provide reporting to our clients that kind of like tell us exactly what how their campaign is performing. Then how do we get to this part, right? Because we're really kind of like at the mercy sometimes of sending people, sending onlookers or prospects to just their site, which sometimes isn't always optimized for conversion, right? And that conversion being, are you optimized to get this, to get that information? Because this is the most important. These are people who have clicked on your information at some given point throughout our campaign that we set up for you. But then when I get to this point, I don't want to go any further than just the home page of your site or maybe the services page of your site or something like that, right? And that's kind of where I started thinking, are we incorporating those landing pages, those lead capture pages, those bridge pages or those gap pages, whatever the case might be, into our campaigns that are designed to do exactly that, right? To do exactly that, to capture information, right? And this isn't kind of like, it's not a techie concept. It's not really what you're trying to do is say, okay, I know that I'm a business owner who has something to provide. We've done a heck of a job of putting together a great campaign based on this, right? So what, as a consumer, are you going to do to appeal to me even further once I get to this page to make me say, gotcha, okay, I'm going to at least give you my email or my phone number or something like that because I believe that, I would like to receive some more information, right? And if you really think about like a salon, right? If we did a campaign for a salon, what on a landing page can we kind of provide as an offer? This is kind of like a concept as to a freebie of value that we can offer that kind of says, okay, I've seen your message multiple times. I've kind of gotten to this page and it's very intriguing, right? And on top of that, you're saying, well, how about you come in, we'll give you a blowout and a style, totally on us, just so you can kind of get familiar with the concept of, experiencing our services and this local salon here in town. And that's really just kind of like all we want to do, right? You know how valuable it is to do something like that? Because it's really not in the one-time transaction. It's actually in the lifetime value of being able to just get that person in, get them comfortable with the experience, right? So that they become a lifetime client of that particular salon. If you really think about it, from your grocery store to your phone to your cable bill, how long have you either been going to the same grocery store? How long have you been with the same phone company? How long have you been with the same car insurance company? Just because you're familiar with that service. This is really the value that we provide. And it's not just, digital is a part of advertising overall, but it's really the value that advertising provides as a provocative message that entices consumers with the data endpoints, right? That does something here that helps us kind of like make a decision. And I really wanted to make sure, this is the message to you guys, that we weren't neglecting the concept that we can do this for our clients. Because really what we're saying is that we're trying to get this for you, right? You guys all heard me say, it's my job to bring them to the front door. It's your job to kind of keep them there. It's also, I'm going to also say that it's our job to at least try and capture some of this information for them as well, because that is really the most provocative conversation that we can have with our clients, not just in the subjectivity in being able to deliver a compelling, well-rounded brand message, but also too to get people to say, hey, look, this is a local company that I can believe in. Let me actually give them some information, and they're going to give me a free, cut and blowout. I don't need one, but you guys get the point. So that was all for today. Be on the lookout for the rest of the videos. I am very excited to get these things done. Hope you guys are being safe out there. And as always, cool beans. Talk to you soon.